Hello everybody, Teagan here with High Point. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's episode of What is in the Night Sky this month. Tonight I'm going to be taking you through a beautiful tour of the night sky in the month of February. Now we're going to be visiting several deep sky objects, some on the Messier catalog, open clusters, and even some galaxies. We're also going to take a look at what our nearest neighbors, the planets and the moon, are up to this month as well. So as always, buckle in and let's see what's really out there. So as we did in January, we're going to start this tour off in the realms of our own solar system and see what the moon and planets are up to this month. Mars and Neptune are too close to the sun to be observable this month, but every other planet can be seen in the evening sky. Mercury becomes visible around the 8th onwards and can be seen low in the west-southwest approximately 15 to 20 minutes after sunset. Look for a thin crescent moon just to its right on the 18th before it reaches greatest elongation from the sun on the 19th. Venus will also be emerging into the evening twilight later this month, with the two worlds just 4.5 degrees apart on the 26th and the 27th. By this time you'll need binoculars to spot Mercury, but the pair will fit within the same 10 by 50 field of view, with Mercury appearing to the upper right of Venus. Now Saturn clings into the western horizon and is joined by the crescent moon on the 19th, while Uranus is still within the same 10 by 50 binocular field as the Pleiades star cluster. Jupiter continues to shine brilliantly near Castor and Pollux in Gemini and can be seen throughout the evening and early morning hours. A waxing gibbous moon passes by on the 26th. Lastly, the month begins with a full snow moon in Cancer on the 1st, followed by a new moon in Aquarius on February 17th. So for our next stop, we're going to stay within the realm of our solar system and talk a little bit about the moon as it passes in front of the Pleiades star cluster. This is called an occultation, but this time the moon is barely going to graze the Pleiades cluster. On February 23rd, many observers in North America will get the chance to see this for themselves when the nearly first quarter moon will skim across the northwesterly edge of the Pleiades star cluster. Observers in the Midwest and West are favored as the event starts late in the evening for East Coast observers, when both objects are sinking low in the west. Now for the next stop on our tour, we are moving outwards away from our solar system, heading light years into the galaxy, and we're going to take a look at Messier 44, the Beehive Cluster. The famed Beehive Cluster in Cancer is visible to the naked eye if your skies are dark enough. You'll find it roughly between the stars Castor and Pollux in the constellation Gemini and Regulus in the constellation of Leo. Now, while this is a fine sight in binoculars, it's a little too large for telescopes unless you're using a very low magnification. It's great to view this cluster under dark skies. The stars are vibrant, they're bright, and they're very fun to look at against a dark background. So from Messier 44, the Beehive Cluster, we will head out towards our next stop in the tour, and this is a double star known as Gamma Leonis or Algieba. Algieba is a famous double star that's one of the handful that can be enjoyed with both binoculars and a telescope. Almost any pair of binoculars will show a golden star with a wide, fainter blue companion. But with a telescope, around 90 times magnification, you will split the gold star into two components, a gold primary and a slightly fainter pale gold secondary. Now, double stars are great for that beginner amateur astronomer. If you have the ability to zoom in 90 times magnification, seeing the two gold and pale gold companion stars next to each other is quite a sight. And the great thing about double stars is that they can be viewed in very light polluted areas, and you don't need a dark sky sight to enjoy them. Now from Algieba, we head towards Messier 48, which is a small and faint open cluster. On February 19th of 1771, a French astronomer by the name of Charles Messier found this object and labeled it a very faint cluster without nebulosity. He mistakenly charted it, and it was nearly a century and a half later, in the year 1934, where it was confirmed, and then in 1959 was confirmed again by another astronomer. T.F. Morris was the astronomer who confirmed the match. Today, M48 can be seen with binoculars and is a fine telescopic target spanning the diameter of the full moon. A little tricky to locate, M48 is roughly 12 degrees southwest of the head of Hydra and 14 degrees southwest of Procyon. The two stars in Canis Minor will point to it. The scattered open cluster is bright enough to see with binoculars, but is best seen with a telescope at low power. Now, from this interesting little star cluster, we're going to head outwards far past the reaches of our own galaxy and take a look at a pair of galaxies that is a favorite for visual astronomers and astrophotographers alike: Messier 81 and 82, Bode's Galaxy, and the Cigar Galaxy. Galaxy season is almost here, but we can get an early start with Messier 81 and 82 in the constellation of Ursa Major. Detectable with binoculars, this duo can be seen together within the same low-powered telescopic field of view, around 40 times magnification, and photographs well with smart telescopes. Like I mentioned, either of these is a fantastic target for astrophotographers. If you have a long focal length, you can get up close and personal on Bode's Galaxy or even Messier 82, the Cigar Galaxy. But if you have a wide field telescope, you can capture both galaxies in the same field of view, and maybe, if you have dark skies, you can capture some of that IFN surrounding both galaxies. Well, that is it for our tour here in the month of February. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. But if you also observed or photographed any of these objects, tell us, were you under dark skies? Were you under light polluted skies? What kind of equipment did you use to see or photograph these objects? We love to hear from you guys. Again, I am Teagan with High Point. Thank you so much, and clear skies.